Now a Target 12 investigators exclusive, the Pawtucket project. We're taking you inside the deal developers and politicians call a game changer.
A $400 million development on 3 parcels of land projected to transform the city's waterfront with a hotel, new housing, office space, and a soccer stadium. It's
one of the most expansive projects ever proposed in Rhode Island.
And it's right up there with the Providence Place Mall and Water Place Park. Here's Target 12 investigator Walt Buteau.
The projected numbers are staggering. More than 1,000 permanent jobs and 2,500 more from construction, and a $130 million a year impact to the state's economy. Tidewater Landing would cover the old Apex site near Route 95 and 2 other chunks of land on opposite sides of the Seekonk River.
We know we have a hidden gem here, right? So it's how do you access it?
We met up with Mayor Don Grebian at Festival Pier, where you can see one side across the water and the other 2 upriver. But Tidewater Landing is not a project you can view from one spot.
And also the legislation.
As we drove out of the parking lot and headed up Prospect Street, Pawtucket's need for economic help was shadowed by what was Memorial Hospital, but is now a mostly empty, shuttered building that's for sale. What does all this look like? Let's say even beyond that, 5 years from now.
You know, that's a valid question, right? We see it as you look at Prospect Street down to the water is probably like the boundaries.
Skydrone 12 gives you a view of those boundaries, where the wooded areas on both sides of the river would become this multi-use giant if the private funding comes through. 200 housing units, 300,000 square feet of office, retail, and community space, and a bridge to connect one part of the project to the 7,500-seat soccer stadium on the other side of the river. Contrast the moment. Our first stop, the empty lot at Division and School Street, where restaurants, housing, and a riverwalk would rise.
Somewhere in this area here below, there'll be a bridge that connects both properties. So the idea of it is to have people on and off the highway coming here and parking.
The mayor points out about a decade ago, his predecessor proposed a hotel for this area.
Well, I was on the council at the time. Mayor Doyle, to his credit, had gotten possession of this property, and it was going to be a hotel, and then the market just dropped, and there was no investment willing to happen. That's why we need to capitalize on the time when things are this high.
Taxpayers would cover between $70 to $90 million in infrastructure to connect the dots between the Division Street development, the old Apex site, and the Tidewater area where the soccer stadium would be built. Grebian downplays the risk, pointing out taxpayer funding won't happen without the $300 million in private investment.
300 plus that's being invested, we wouldn't be getting if we didn't have those investments and those incentives out there. So everything is built on the new revenue.
Those incentives include the General Assembly approved Pawtucket tax increment financing program, allowing the state to pay back borrowed money with sales and hotel taxes from the project. And during our drive, this lifelong Democrat did acknowledge the Opportunity Zone tax break created by President Donald Trump and Congress is a key part to making Tidewater work.
There's a lot of value in that, so you have to give credit where it's due.
The developer, Fortuitous Partners, is powered by Brown University graduate Brett Johnson. Johnson told us in December he had about $100 million in investor commitments. He would not say if those commitments have increased since then, but did tell us it's full steam ahead to make Tidewater Landing a reality.
A lot of the responsibility is on the private side, and it really comes to them showing that they can raise that money, that they're here, and I believe they will. You know, everybody judges the first shovel in the ground. There's so much work that's going to happen before that.
One ongoing issue involves acquiring the Apex site, with Grebian telling us he feels conversations are going well and he hopes it will come to a successful conclusion. The end of April is the deadline for the finalized deal, complete with financing commitments. With the Target 12 investigators, Walt Buteau, Eyewitness News.
This Target 12 investigation continues on WDPRI.com. We've mapped out all 3 proposed locations, and you can see all of the renderings and take an extended look at the sites from Skydrone 12.